portal looks like and how we can configure it. So let's open this portal management app in a different tab just so we can, check like all our pages and everything is configured. So this is the portal application. We can check here that the type is portal. One most important thing about a portal is when you create a portal for the first time, a trial instance is created, and that trial instance is valid for 30 days. So if you are using your port, if you are still in your development phase, you can use this trial period and it will not cost you anything. But if you'll move it to production, then it will start the cost and everything. So while you're still in development, keep this in trial, and if you are completed with your development and everything and it's like ready to go live, you can convert this to production. So let's go ahead and try to edit this. Also, let's do this. Let's open our portal in a different tab here, just so we can see like what it looks like right now. So this is the portal. Here it is getting open in the edit mode. One other thing in the meanwhile, so let me sign in through my Azure AD account and I'll show you like what are my web roles and how I am seeing these things differently. So I just logged in through my Azure AD account. So if your login credentials are still valid, the session is still active, it's going to directly redirect you. Otherwise, it will ask you for a login. So let's wait for this to complete. Okay, so yeah, I am logged in as Ritika, and my credentials, they were cached, so no need to worry about things. An important thing again about like so let's take an example. You are still in development mode and you want to reflect your changes once you're done with those. So my account, it has a web role for administrator. So if I go here in my portal management app and I go to contacts, I can see that okay, my account, this contact which got created while I log in into the portal. If I go to web roles, I can see that I have the administrator web role. So this thing, this little pop of what we are seeing on the screen, it's only visible to administrators. And if you want, you can directly edit the content from here. So if you'll click on edit, you can update the code. If there is any language content on the page, you can update it from here. Or if you want to embed any custom JavaScript or custom CSS, you can add it from here. And in the general details as well, you can update the partial URL. If you want to update the page template, web form, entity list, anything that you want to update, you can select it from here directly. And this feature is only available to administrators. One other thing is like admins are allowed to clear the cache of this portal. So if I have made any changes and I have saved it, it is not going to be reflected until I clear the cache. So the URL for that is your Power Apps portal environment URL, and then after that you have to append uh, underscore services slash about. So if I open this, I can see this page and I can clear the cache from here. Let's say I am not admin or I am logged in as someone else and I try to copy this in URL, the whole URL. Let's do this, and I try to open this in an incognito tab. So it will resolve the page, but I am only going to see the heading, which is something like this portal and then this number. I am not able to see any options for clearing the cache or clearing out the search build index, nothing like that. So it's like a blank page, and if someone is not having the appropriate role, they cannot clear the cache. Okay, let's move forward. And now we have our portal open in the edit mode. So here we can see that, okay, there are multiple components that exist already on the page. So I have a text here which says sample data and some other text as well. I can select any of these components, and here in the source code editor, I can see the code that is actually, working in the backend. So this is like similar to what we have in HTML. So Portal support Bootstrap 3.3 and those versions. So whenever you are working on Power Apps portals and trying to, build your own custom controls or your custom visuals, make sure that you are using Bootstrap 3.3 and not Bootstrap 4 point something. The reason behind that is it doesn't support 4.0 or and so on, and it will start to break the functionality. No matter how good your code is, it is going to render, but in the back end it's gonna mess up some of your display and all those things. So whenever you are working with portals, make sure you're working with Bootstrap 3.3. So this is like whatever code you have, it is in place. And talking about the Bootstrap 3, all the classes and everything is already configured in the portal. You have a few icons as well. So font or some icons, they are already available for your users. So let's go ahead and see like what my pages looks like. So this is like a portal that got created when we started provisioning a portal. So I can see that we have a sitemap, poll archives, contact us, and all these pages. If we want, we can hide these from the sitemap. Sorry, the default menu. So this works something like I don't want this sitemap to show here in this sitemap. So I can disable it. Or if I want only the main page to be visible and not their child pages, I can also, configure it on individual items. So while working with this editor, I would suggest you to, wait until any of the preview is loaded, because if you are making any changes in the middle, they are, going to be cached out, and they'll just be, removed, and there will be no, backup for that. So until this page is loaded, don't make any changes on any of the properties, because there are highly chances that you'll lose those changes. So, I mean, based on my personal experience, we use this portal when we are just starting this editor, when we are just starting with the development. Once you're familiar with the concepts and everything, you can directly use this portal management app. So, what we have here, like for building any of the web pages, anything, because whatever you are configuring in the front end here, it's like synced to this backend, which is in the portal management app. So I mean, I usually use this as a place to edit any of my changes, because this is like really reliable, and the editor, it sometimes refreshes itself in a few in some time, so it's really hard to track those changes if they are lost. So let's see. Let's create a new page, and I'll add a child page. Okay, it is adding. It might take us some time, so let's wait for that. Okay, so the page is loaded. Now it is loading the preview. And here I can choose like what the page name will be and what will be the partial URL. So let's name this available courses. Okay, so I can set the partial URL as available. Okay. So again, so this is loading the preview. This is what I was just talking about. So sometimes it, refreshes the page, and the changes you are making, they are lost. So once you're familiar with the editor and everything, try to use this portal management app as much as you can. So I'll name this as courses. So as soon as I clicked out, it is saving those changes, and now it is loading the preview. Let's see how this looks in the back end. So let's come here. I'll go to web pages. I'll refresh this, but yeah, my page is here, available courses. And whatever name I have entered in this editor and the partial URL, they are all here. So available courses and the partial URLs courses. If I want, I can change the page template as well. So I don't want this picture to be displayed. I can select this full page without child links. So now it is loading that page and my banner will be removed and I can see a clear navigation, something like, okay, the home page and then available courses. I don't want this page copy, so I'm going to remove that. The text I can select it and delete it directly. So now I just have a section here. I can go to components and add a list here. So let's create a list from where we can, list out some resources, some the courses that are available on my CDS entity. So I can give this a name. Let's say my courses, or all courses is better. All courses. Then the entity name is, okay. Let's search for it. Okay, so here is my solution and I can see the entity is named as subject. So I'll go back to this page here and I'll select subject. Okay, so here it is, subject. I can select the view that I want to display. So let's say I want to show the active subjects and what all features you want to enable. It's like you can enable create new record or view details. So let's enable all for now. Okay, so it will ask you for a form like what would be the target of this. So I want this to be displayed on a form. And since we don't have any form in place, we cannot configure this right now, but let's come back to this. Same for view details, edit details, and delete record. So let's do this first. I have this other page, new page one. Okay, let's change this to view details. And the partial URL is going to be view details only. Okay, this is going to remove my changes because the preview is loading. So let's see, yes. Okay, let it load first. And I'll name this as view details. Okay, a lot of loading is happening here. Okay, so view details. Let it load. I am again going to delete this text from here, and instead I'm going to add a new component here, which is a form. So I'll select this form. I can configure it like, okay, view course details, view course details. I can select the entity. Let's go with the subject one we just did. So here it is, subject. And then I can select the form I want to display. So here I have already configured a form for portal. So this goes like portal's main form. So as I mentioned before that only main forms are supported. Here I have created a new form if I want to take a look at it now. So if I go to subject, and if I go to forms now, I can see that there are two main forms, portal mains form and the information. So we are using the portal main form. I'll open it for reference if you want to see how it looks. So here, and the mode for this is insert, or I can say, let's say we want to keep this as an edit mode now. So here I can also set the settings like what message do you want to show on success, or if you want to redirect to a page or a URL, and all those things you can configure here. Then in the advanced settings, you can set if you want to show the captcha for anonymous or authenticated users, and if you want to enable the entity permissions. All those settings you can configure here. Now that our page is, set up for showing a form, let's go back to available courses. Mhm. So I just typed in my password and it's wrong. Okay, never mind. I'll close it. So now I can, let's come back to this Power Apps Portal Studio, and then I can select to create a new record. The form would be form type, and I can select the form as now I can see this view course details. So I can also set this view and I can select the same form and the same for edit. But I mean here just for demo purposes, I am using the same form. And if we notice that like when I was configuring the form, I selected the mode to be edit. So here it suggested like if you have like multiple requirements, go with different forms for these things. And I don't want the user to be able to delete this record, so let's leave it for now. Now settings, the number of records I want to show in the list, and if I want to enable the search, I can enable it, and the same for entity permissions. So let's do this. I have configured these, and I am going to save this detail. So it is like saving my configuration right now. And if I browse website, so this is like opening the slash courses pages. I can see all the available courses. So here we have a few courses that we have the name and the created on date. So just because we enabled creation of new records, that's why we are seeing this button here like plus create, and then this is the search bar. It will work on the fields that you have marked as searchable, and you can filter. So let's do this. If I enter MB400, I should only see one record, and yeah, that's it. So here is like something that exists out of the box, and you can create these things like in a few settings on the board. If you want to create this, so here is what the page loads, and this is a pop-up, and if you want you can redirect the person to a different page. The error you're getting here, the record you're looking for couldn't be found, it's because the default mode for this form is edit. And just like I suggested, if you are working with these things, create different entity forms for these. So the one that exists for editing will not work for create and read only things. So that is why you're not able to see. But if we create multiple entity forms, this is definitely going to display you a form where you can add details about the course and update it. Since this is like a portal and only instructors can add the courses in the back end, for which we have a model driven app. So anyways, this option is not going to exist here. Now I can select this any of the and if I click this, I can view the details. So here I can see like what is the name of this course and what is the syllabus, like what all will be covered as part of this, what is the start date, and who is the instructor for this, and if there are any students and all those. So this is like based on the configuration you create for the form again. If you don't want to display the students here, so let's say you just want to display the instructor and the syllabus and all those things, these changes can be done at form level. So you can do that. And here, even though we are seeing the view details, this is the editable form because by default we have set here. Okay, there is an error showing the preview, but here we have selected the form to be editable. So that is why this is goes something like this. I am seeing the form, but it's like editable, and even though like it's like minor text changes. Now, let's go on and see how you can, create pages that are specific to users, and based on web roles only, you'll be able to see it. So let's see that in the next video.